Hey guys, Eric here with Joshua. A big week for DC news. We found out the Suicide Squad officially, and of course a huge part of that is Joker, the return of Joker in live action, new movie, Jared Leto playing him, but no Batman. As far as we know, Batman's he's certainly not a member of the main cast. Maybe he'll cameo, we don't know.
There's been no mention of Batman, so we're just assuming he's not in the movie, and maybe they'll reference him, or maybe we'll see like a flash or something, but I do not think Batman is going to be like a big part of this movie at all.
Same here. And you know, I think especially for mainstream audiences, we only know Joker fighting Batman. I mean, it's like a couple of very big movies, animated series. So what do you think here? You know, we're going to get the Joker without Batman in any major capacity. Will that work is kind of the main question here.
Yeah, I believe that the Joker has grown so much as a character that he can work without Batman. I feel like it'll be a little weird for general audiences to see that, but I think it's going to be really cool if they do it right. You know, the Joker, he started off as, you know, this sort of silly, you know, clown playing pranks and stuff.
Yeah.
Because really Batman's thing was to bring order, justice, and vengeance to the city, and the Joker's nothing but, you know, just throwing things out of balance and everything like that. And over the years, you know, so many acclaimed writers, especially, you know, Alan Moore, The Killing Joke, like that was the big, you know, turning point for the Joker, as far as I see it anyways, of him becoming this really serious character of just of pure, like, chaos, anarchy.
Scary character,
yes, really, yeah. And really what he's become is this sort of like god of chaos in the DC universe, you know. And because he's you know, been written so many different ways and just become this sort of larger than life thing, he can work outside of a Batman story and still work very well.
Obviously in DC, he is still Batman's main villain, and most of his appearances are in Batman comics. But, you know, yeah, as you mentioned, there are certainly times that he has appeared in other people's comics. He even had his own comic for a little bit. Can you talk about some stories maybe that leap out to you as great examples of, not exactly what they're going to do in Suicide Squad, but here's an example of a non-Batman great Joker story?
What I really like is actually the Injustice Gods Among Us prequel comic, which is outside of regular DC continuity, and it's really just a setup to make Superman a bad guy.
Right.
But, and this is a spoiler if you haven't read the comic book, so watch out. But Joker goes after Superman. He comes to Metropolis, he drugs Superman, he makes him think Lois Lane is Doomsday. So he flies Lois into space and to kill Doomsday, but he ends up killing Lois. Turns out she was pregnant with their unborn child. It was this crazy moment for him. And then when he came back, Joker like nuked Metropolis, like pretty much destroying everything Superman ever loved, and drove him to become a supervillain, like mad with grief. And Superman killed the Joker.
Yes.
But I really think that's just a really good illustration of that the Joker can work outside of a Batman story. And so, you know, if you bring that sort of chaos to, let's say, the Suicide Squad, that would be a really good movie.
Now, Suicide Squad is interesting because it is kind of a group of villains already, or certainly people who are not on the moral up and up all the time. So what do you think Joker's role could be in this specific movie with this specific group of characters, given who they are?
You know, I could see it going one of two ways. You know, the Suicide Squad is is a group of villains who have come together, been then recruited by like Amanda Waller and the government to go on a suicide mission. You know, like a really hard mission to earn their freedom. So Joker could be, like, he could be captured, because he's been around for a while. We're assuming, because Batman's been around for a while from what we know.
So we think Joker probably also has a history that goes back years.
Yes, yes. So he could be captured, and they say, hey, Joker, if you want to get out of prison, I don't know why you would make him this offer. Then you could join the Suicide Squad. Alternatively, he could be just the villain of the movie, which is the way I think they should go. The Suicide Squad is brought together to go, like, take down the Joker, or capture him, or get information from him, or something like that. So either way, I feel like even though Batman's not a part of the story, he provides such unpredictability, so much crazy like twists and stuff like that, and really like pushes people to like psychological extremes that it would be like great, like Jared Leto versus Will Smith sort of, you know, Deadshot is the character Will Smith's going to play, who's usually him or Tom Hardy's character is usually the leader of the Suicide Squad. So I think that would be like a great like pairing of to see how that works out.
Like you, it's very hard for me to imagine Joker ever being on a team, or what would make the government ever think that this guy they could control. But yeah, to me it almost sounds like, wouldn't it even almost increase the Joker's threat to say like, yeah, they need to send like 6 people after him because he's that scary and that hard to find.
And it also shows when you put the Joker next to a bunch of other villains to make them seem not so bad in comparison. And that's sort of the thing of the Suicide Squad. Like, these are bad people, these thieves, murderers, saboteurs. These are villains, but you're supposed to feel for them, you know, by the end of the movie. So by showing the darkest extreme with the Joker, you make the, you know, Deadshot and company look not so bad.
Well, guys, that is Joshua's thoughts on why the Joker can work without Batman. I agree, by the way. But let us know what you thought in the comments. You know, are you excited to see a Joker story in a movie without Batman, or you think, oh, you got to have Batman there? Let us know. We'll have plenty more in Suicide Squad and all things DC at IGN.